So today we are going to talk about legends
beneath the waves.
beneath the waves.
Some eerie tales of the sea from long ago. We're going to talk a little about Blackbeard.
And the Flying Dutchman. And a little bit about Davy Jones. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Jello, I'm Ash.
And I'm Lynn.
And this is Only If You Can Keep Up.
I can't.
I don't think anybody can keep up anymore. This world is fucked.
Good Lord.
Okay, anyway, so, I've always heard of Blackbeard and the Flying Dutchman, and there's just, these weird, eerie stories that you see on movies and TV shows, and you don't ever know the fucking stories to them. So I thought it would be interesting, I think we thought it would be interesting, to do an episode on these and, actually learn who these people were and what they did and why.
The true tales behind the
Right. And it's, once again, they're legends and myths. This is not real. Well, some of mine, are real accounts of people, but still. Okay, so we are going to start with the Flying Dutchman. He is not the little green ghost on SpongeBob. That's not what it is. The ship under the sea. Cute, but no. Okay, the legend goes that in the mid-1600s, there was a captain. His name was Hendrik van der Decken. Say that 5 times fast.
That's a mouthful.
Hendrik van der Decken. He was a very seasoned sailor. He'd been sailing his entire life. His whole family was sailors. Everyone sailed in the family. Cool. He was very violent, and he was very prideful.
A lot of them were back then.
I think that was the norm of men. Period in the 1600s. If you weren't
violent and scary, then you weren't a man.
Exactly. You should go hang out with the women and clean the house because you're not worthy of this. He was violent, and when I say he was violent, if somebody would be like, hey, Hendrik, I feel like we should do it this way, he would shoot you dead. Instantly. He would just look at you and kill you. And then that's it.
Away with your opinions.
Literally. It does not matter. Then he'd throw your body into the sea. He did not, no fucks were given.
Yeah.
With this dude. This is a real man, by the way. This is not a legend. This is a real man.
Yeah.
He really was a man. The legend came from what happened to man, okay? He had a ship. It was a Dutch East India Company ship. That's who he sailed for. He would go back and forth for them. It was that. It was not his ship. It wasn't a specific what. You know what I mean? It was just a ship for a company that did it. So the Flying Dutchman's ship was actually called the Dutch East India Company ship.
Okay.
That was the name before the legend came of the Flying Dutchman. It was no specific cool named ship. You know what I mean? On Pirates of the Caribbean, the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's not his ship, okay?
Okay.
The ship was extremely fast and extremely strong. It made it through storms. It made it through literally everything this man put it through. And he sailed this ship for years. It was his ship, but not his ship.
So the flying probably is because it felt like it flew compared to other ships.
Literally, yeah. This ship on this specific voyage, whichever you want to call it, it was full of riches from the East Indies.
Ooh.
So it was full of all the most flamboyant fucking shit. It was bound for Holland. But to get there, they had to go through something called the Cape of Good Hope.
I get it. The Dutchman, because it was heading to Holland. And the Dutch,
and he's
the
Dutch.
Netherlands. Yeah.
So that's where Flying Dutchman comes from.
Cool.
The flying of the ship across the ocean, because it was such a fast ship.
Yeah.
And then the Dutchman, because he was a Dutchman and he was heading to Holland whenever this actually happened. So there's your Flying Dutchman
there
reference.
We go.
But right now we're just on the company ship. We're not on the Flying
Dutchman. And when
Dutchman.
was this? Time-wise?
1600s.
Okay.
It said late 1600s. They do not have an actual date of this because we didn't write shit down then.
Yeah.
So the Cape of Good Hope is where they had to go through in order to get this. It's actually nicknamed the Sailor's Graveyard.
Ooh.
It is at the collision point of the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. So that line where those oceans touch is what this is.
Okay.
Strong opposing currents smash together, which create monstrous waves. Storms come out of nowhere because you got the cold coming from this way, the hot coming from this way, and they just and it is tragic.
Catastrophic.
Literally. Sudden storms roll in and out without a warning. You will be sailing, everything will be great. You will look to the horizon, there's a black cloud. The black cloud is now on top of you, and you're almost dead. There's no... It goes so fast, and everything gets so twisted that it's... And this is a true place. This is a real place. The coastline has hidden rocks and reefs all along it. So, like, if your ship gets pushed into the coastline,
you get hung up on those.
It just goes under because you just hit those rocks enough times. There's nowhere to stop, nowhere to port. The current
would just suck you right in.
Exactly. The historians estimate around 3,000 ships are under the water right here.
Damn.
Like, literally, actually 100% under the water.
No wonder they call it the graveyard.
Yeah. This is the only way to get to Asia. To get to and from Asia. There's no other way. We have not discovered another way. Mind you, 1600s. We haven't discovered our whole world yet.
Right.
So this is the only way that they have found that is quick to get there. So that's why so many ships sank. Because that's how you got there. And you go to Asia to get the goods. They got all the goods. And you bring them back to you. Wherever you are. You know what I mean? Okay. The sailors' journals from back then said the devil himself was in those waters, daring them to pass. So it's like you would roll up on this area and it'd be like clear and peaceful, and then like
boom,
let's go,
monster comes.
Literally. As old Hendrik, as he approached the cape, a very large storm approached out of nowhere. The crew begged him to turn around. He absolutely not. The whole crew came together. Like, I guess from what I understand is they asked as a group, so they didn't get murdered, you know.
Yeah.
They asked as a group, well, we can't do this. Like, let's turn back. We're not in deep enough. We can go back. And he said, absolutely not. So then they planned a rebellion underneath the deck against the captain because they were terrified. They didn't want to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when the leader of this group, because of course there's always a jackass, big dick energy dude that's like, we can't do this. Let's get together. When he went up and he actually tried to like attack the captain, he shot him point blank in the head and threw him overboard immediately.
Damn.
And it was a whole...
He's like, fuck your revolution.
Exactly.
I'm in charge.
And it was a whole, anybody else want to play? You know what I mean? I will kill you. Like, we're going through this. He did not back down. There was no turning around for him. He never did once and he never would. Very prideful, like I said before. Like, very, very...
Yeah.
I'm doing what I gotta do. Don't fuck with me. Why would you sign up to work for this fucker? Right? Is my question. But I feel like you said back then, every fucker was like that. Like, it wasn't
kinda
just this
like
fucker.
You had to pick the devil you choose or whatever.
Exactly. Now, here's where legend happens. All of that up to there is in journals. Okay, so legend starts. All these sailors started talking and everything. Here's the legend. The minute this man's body hit the water is essentially when the Flying Dutchman was born. The legend is that as soon as he went underneath the water, the skies became clear out of nowhere, and a mysterious ghostly figure appeared on the ship.
Ooh.
He cursed the ship and the entire crew. The ship could never anchor, never land, never go anywhere near sea. Near land. Like, it literally cannot go close to land. It just automatically ends up somewhere else.
Oh.
That was the curse. Because he
almost like a gravitational push away from the shore.
Because he killed in the middle of this. That's the legend the sailors started telling. And also, everything they ate turned into mouth-hot iron. So they could not swallow their food. And everything they drank immediately turned to bile.
Oh.
Yeah. Their sails were tattered. They had holes in their ship. The ship was rotting literally from the inside out, but it would not sink.
Ooh.
Like, it's an unsinkable ship. He pretty much damned them all to a sea hell.
Yeah.
Like a water
eternal
hell.
Torture, yeah.
The men all turned skeletal. Their flesh rotted off, but they never died. They were all alive with beating hearts, apparently.
Ooh.
What they do is they sail within the storm. So, I don't know how to explain that. Like, they're not just out there in the middle of nowhere. They're in the middle of a storm. So people who see this ship are in the middle of a storm.
Okay.
Almost all of them. Not all of them, but almost all of them. The storm comes with them. They are part of the storm now.
Awakens an energy that brings them out,
For centuries, the sailors have told stories of a ghost ship that lives within the storm. And if you see this ship, you are now cursed.
Ooh.
Like, your ship and your crew is actually cursed. By the 1800s, the Dutchman was part of sailor folklore. Everyone talked about it. Everyone knew who the Dutchman was. Like, I'm trying to think of something equivalent to now. Like, if we see something now, we know it means this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I can't think. I literally cannot think of anything. I can't.
Because you don't hear stuff like that
Okay, so like
anymore.
if the skies are green, a tornado comes.
Right.
You see the Dutchman, you're cursed. I mean, that is not the same, but my point is, like, that was the story. That is what you were told. That is what everyone
and I know, like,
knew.
Myths and stuff were bigger back then because they didn't have... If so many people passed that down, something had to be true.
Okay, but the thing we have to remember about back then is, we've said it before, they were bored.
Yeah,
they had zero entertainment.
The entertainment we have now. They didn't have, and the logic we have now.
A simple story of a jackass captain who kills somebody has now turned into a cursed ship who, if you see... Well, stories started coming out. Actual stories. Each account, each story, every single one of them came with a tragic after story. Whether someone on the ship died, whether every member on the ship got sick after seeing the Flying Dutchman in the distance in a storm.
Oh.
The first written account, the actual one that was written down on paper, not word of mouth, not porting in New England and saying, oh my God, I saw the Flying Dutchman. He did this and this and we all got shits. No. Actual written down.
Oh, gosh. I started puking bile and got the shits of iron.
Was in 1881. So quite a while.
That's pretty far out.
That's when we wrote about it. It was Prince George.
And now we're getting into time of, I mean, there's more going on now in the 1800s where it makes me think there's truth to every legend and lore, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
But then also back then, people weren't so distracted, so they were more aware of what was going on around them.
You could look at it anyway. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So
okay, so 1881, Prince George of Wales. He was going to be king soon. He actually became king eventually. He was sailing near Australia. He was captain. Okay. The prince and several crew members spotted a strange red light on the horizon with a storm approaching. The skies turned very dark, and the Flying Dutchman appeared out of nowhere. 13 people total were spotted on the ship. Like, they saw 13 humans walking on this ship, the Flying Dutchman. Okay. The ship vanished out of nowhere, and every single crew member saw this ship. Every single one saw this ship.
Wow.
So, the ship...
And it wasn't like a mass hysteria thing, because...
the ship vanished as fast as it was seen. They saw it, saw the crew members, and poof, it was gone in the storm. Like, it was gone. The man that first spotted the ship, like, because you got to think of an old ship. There's people way up high with not a binocular. Give me the word. I'm doing emotion.
I know what
telescope.
You're talking about.
No, it's the thing
they're like that.
You pull out, you look through it in a little hole. One of those.
No, I see it.
Thank you. One of those. It has a really weird name. I just can't think of it. Up there to look for ships or whales or sinkholes, whirlpools. That kind of stuff. That man fell to his death later that day. Okay, so they recorded both the sighting and the death as an omen in their logs.
Okay.
So this, affirmed all those stories. Because you have to think, we have the Prince George of Wales. He's a big dude.
Right.
And the people on his boat were, officials. They were very, very, very well known.
These weren't just some
reputable
random
people. Exactly. Yeah. So this story made it real. It made it's no longer a myth. It's no longer a legend to these people. It's a real ship, and you will die if you see it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so in 1843, there's a little difference there. Richard Wagner, he directed an opera, because back then operas were a very big thing. Okay. We've got operas like we have Broadway plays now. Yeah. It's a big thing back then. So he took the story and he added a twist to it. Okay. He introduced a chance to escape from the curse in his opera. Every 7 years, the Dutchmen could come to shore. They could stay on shore only if the captain would find a woman to faithfully love him until he died. Obviously,
love can save
that never happened.
This was not a man who wanted love.
So that then, after this opera, became part of the lore. We're just adding to it at this point. A lot of people didn't even know that was an opera. They're oh yeah, they can come every 7 years, and that's a false. That has nothing to do with the original lore. It was added not that long after the first sighting, so it just became part of it. If you watch Pirates of the Caribbean, once again, we're going to talk about that several times. That's part of it. Every 7 years, you can come to shore, but you have to find all that. Oh, Pirates doesn't do... Anyway, they fuck that shit up. So, there have been about excuse me, 300 written accounts of the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, wow. That's a lot, right?
Just written. Well, you got to think of the amount of sailors. Not really. Yeah. If you really like millions of sailors and people, 300. True. Every single one of these.
But still that the writings made it back safely to where they
So every one of these, like I said before, has a tragic after effect. So we saw it, and then they're not all death. Every single one of them is not death. Like I said, some of them all get, scurvy, the whole ship. Or something breaks on the ship and it sinks. And they live, but it sinks. It's always something with every story, no matter what. But
some kind of tragedy.
Over 250 years of sailors telling this story. Wow. Telling it.
That's a long time.
Speaking words. Like, actually speaking words. Not like written accounts from 1842, we spotted the Dutchman. I would like to see some of those.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We probably couldn't read them because they're in other languages. But people actually still claim to see the Flying Dutchman today in the 1900s.
That's what I was wondering.
Not today specifically, but the 1900s.
Yeah, like more recently. Though.
Yeah. In 1939, in South Africa, dozens of people saw a ship in a storm, but never found the wreckage. So, like, they were on shore and said, oh my gosh, a ship, waited till the storm to pass and went out to find the wreckage because there was no way that ship could have survived. Huh. And there was no wreckage.
Wow.
They claimed it to be the Dutchman. In 1952, I mean, that's not recent, ago, but not that long ago. Near Cape Town, a British ship claimed to see the ship come and vanish extremely fast. Immediately after they had problems with their ship. Like, instantly, it was like the sails quit sailing, right? I don't exactly know how to say those in sailor terms, so if you're a sailor, I apologize.
The sails quit sailing sounds good to me.
In 1960, it was claimed to be seen by many, many, many ships near the Cape of Hope, so back at the Cape of Hope. Each sighting, like I said, did have something not tragic, but minorly tragic happen after this. So there's recent sightings all the way up to 2022.
Oh, wow.
But they're all near the Cape of Hope. It's no longer called that. It's called something else now, and I didn't write that down when I freaking
I was going to say what made them stop, but they're still having now and then.
But now the sightings don't come with a tragic after.
Okay.
It's always like, I think it's more of the like, do you see that ship off in the distance? Yep, it's the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot more tragedy happened back then. They didn't have the navigation systems and all the technology we have now. So, yeah, that makes sense.
100%, yeah. Like we said, the Pirates of the Caribbean, if you've ever watched the franchise, if you haven't, go watch it. It's incredible. I fucking love Johnny Depp on the Pirates of the Caribbean. They twisted this story. They completely twisted it and took it, like so many shows do. And Davy Jones, which we're going to talk about in a second, just because I didn't know. I've heard of Davy Jones and Davy Jones' Locker, but I did not know the story, so I did that too. They made Davy Jones into a human, because Davy Jones is not a human.
Right.
They made Davy Jones into the captain. He's the octopus guy.
Yeah.
The big octotentacle guy.
And that's how I've always thought of him.
Yeah,
like
and they made him
creature.
the captain of the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, okay,
that's what they
right.
did. So, like, if you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, you know how, like, they're all skeletal and everything because they're dead, but they're not dead.
Yes,
like
they did. I think they did a really good job.
They did a really good. They took it and twisted it perfectly. He's also featured on SpongeBob, like we said, The Simpsons. He's featured on Scooby-Doo, and there's like 3 or 4 movies about this too. They're all like 40s, 50s, 60s. Okay, so I'm done with Flying Dutchman. We're going to go into Davy Jones. I always thought Davy Jones was like a sailor or something, just like Blackbeard, just like, you know what I mean?
I always thought it was one of those like mythical kind of sailor type guys.
Davy Jones started in the early 1700s. The sailors gave a name to men who were lost at sea.
Oh.
It was like a spirit of the sea, a devil that claimed the drowned sailors.
Okay.
So it was not a human. And Davy Jones' locker is literally the bottom of the ocean floor.
Oh.
It's the whole bottom of the ocean floor.
Wow.
It was just like...
I always thought it was some kind of hidden special area
too.
that there was all these gold and riches.
I think what it was is it was just like a fun play on saying he fell overboard. All of those are so graphic. They would say things like he's gone to Davy Jones. Okay. And everyone just like collectively knew what it meant. Yeah. Instead of saying he's fucking dead in the ocean.
Right, he's overboard.
Davy Jones took him. Yeah.
Okay.
So Jones was a common word for the devil back then. Like that's what they said instead of the devil. And Davy, they wanted it to sound like a human versus a nothing. Like they're saying Davy Jones took him.
Yeah.
So like imagine if you were out at sea or your husband was out at sea and come home and the captain has to come to you and say, Davy Jones took him, instead of he died at sea. I think it was more of like to take the bluntness out. That's what I assume. Yeah. Just to take the bluntness out of he's fucking dead at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. No, Davy Jones took him.
A way to soften the blow a little.
Yes.
Like
and Davy Jones, like I said, on Pirates of the Caribbean, they had him as the octopus. He was not a human. He was an octopus. Well,
and that's what I always thought he was.
He was the captain of the Flying Dutchman. He was not. And I knew he wasn't. But he's not even a human. It's literally dying at sea.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
When you watch that SpongeBob episode.
Yeah. Just know.
Of all that.
Just know.
Yes, just know that that's not right. Okay, SpongeBob.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense twisting them together because the captain of the ship really was like death. Like, he would just kill people
literally
and he didn't
for no
care.
Fucking reason. Right.
So to twist them together kind of makes sense. But I always had it like Davy Jones was this like mythological creature. That came, like, not like the Kraken, but kind of like the octopus thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we talked about Pirates of the Caribbean and all these ship captains and all this around the same time. Okay. Also, Pirates of the Caribbean, they've mentioned Blackbeard. Blackbeard was a notorious English pirate in the 18th century. He was a real person.
Was his name Blackbeard, or did he just have a Blackbeard?
His real name was actually Edward Teach. Some say it was Thatch, but most articles call him Edward Teach. And he was an actual captain. He was an actual man. He was known by Blackbeard, obviously, because of his big black beard. He'd usually have it in braids. They believed he was born in Bristol, England, around 1680. Okay, so we're looking around that time period where you were,
Flying Dutchman,
a little bit later than him, but the stories would go into that time, I guess.
Yeah,
it's like 17th century, 18th century.
Well, mine was the end of 1600s. So
so right around when they think he was born.
Yeah.
So not much is known about Blackbeard's youth. They believe he was literate, which wasn't common back then, especially for pirates to be able to read and write. Mm-hmm. But they think because of the stories and what he did that he actually was quite intelligent and was literate, was able to read and write.
Oh, that's good.
So
good
they think, good for him.
I know, right?
This sounds so good. They believe he served actually as a privateer, like a legal pirate, during Queen Anne's War. So in 1702 to 1713, and I believe this was like European, Spanish, that area type of war that went on. It went on for quite a while. So yeah, that would have been like 11 years.
That's a year. That's a bunch.
Yeah. So they think he was actually like hired by the Queen to be a legal pirate. So that's where they think his combat experience, his naval experience, that all came from that. But they think he was sent out to attack the French and Spanish ships on England's behalf, which most likely gave him all the knowledge that he had. So 1716, this is his turning point of like when he became Blackbeard, right? When he became the notorious Blackbeard. He joined the crew of Benjamin Hornigold, which was, I guess, a well-known pirate in the Bahamas. Hornigold took liking to Edward and... Right? Edward? Yeah, Edward Teach, I said, was his name.
Yes.
And soon, he allowed him to command his own small sloop, like his own boat, I guess. Is that what a sloop is? A boat? Some kind of boat?
We're going to just guess because we don't know.
Yeah, under his authority, under Hornigold's authority, Blackbeard was now...
I love the name Hornigold.
I know.
Like, I feel like
it's
that's
like
a good...
there's an I in it. Hornigold. Hornigold.
I like that even better.
Okay. So Hornigold allowed Blackbeard to become his own captain, pretty much. He had his own little boat with his own little people, and he was like, I'm excited to go. Well, so this period marked his transition from like soldier, privateer to full-fledged outlaw. This is when his shit got crazy. So 1717, we're in full rise of power. This is where Black Gold is like, I'm the fucking man.
Black Gold or Blackbeard?
Blackbeard.
Wow, you mixed them together.
Blackbeard is doing his own thing. I guess Hornigold is no more.
So when he became captain of the ship, did he change his name to Blackbeard?
So I don't know if Blackbeard was what they called him then, or if like as legends progressed, that's what they began calling him.
They needed to not call him Edward anymore?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would assume they called him Blackbeard back then because his beard was what he was known for.
Okay,
like,
probably.
Yeah, he was like... So with his beard, okay, he had this big, thick, long black beard. It was like black as coal. And he would actually tie fuses, like slow burning fuses, into his beard and under his hat that would give off this smoking, sparking, like, appearance. So like when they see him in the distance, surrounding.
His face is on fire.
He's literally like it would give him a demonic appearance, so that like his beard is on fire and they could see him from afar.
To a whole nother level.
Yeah, and he also had, they've said, crazy eyes, like wild eyes. Okay. So he like appeared.
Everything you talk about, all I can picture is the Blackbeard on Pirates of the Caribbean. Right. Like that's all I can picture, and they did not depict him well, from what you're saying, because there was no smoke. There was just like braids in his beard and some beads.
Yeah, they said he would put ribbons and things like that in his beard too, but like his like signature was to scare people from afar with his fire in his beard. And he was like 6'4", they think, so he was a pretty big dude already and looked scary anyway. But sometimes he'd put it in pigtails with ribbons. So I'm like, maybe that's when he was feeling a little... Could you imagine
this brutally ass pirate sitting in front of a fucking mirror on his ship doing his hair?
Right? Those are on his more feminine soft days.
I'm sure he had someone do it for him. Like, I don't see him doing it for himself.
Surely.
Yeah.
But he, so he has his own stuff going right now. He's got his own ship. Crew. He's moved on to bigger, better things, I guess. This is when he captured, 1717, he captured a large French slave ship. It was called the La Concorde, and this was near the island of Martinique. He refitted the ship, armed it with 40 guns, and renamed it Queen Anne's Revenge. Queen Anne or Queen Annie? We'll say Annie. Queen Annie's Revenge. This became his flagship and his symbol of terror. So, along with this big-ass friggin' ship, with all these guns, and his crew, and his scary-ass beard.
And his smoking beard, literally.
Yeah. So this is when he started gaining reputation for his psychological warfare. So, like, his techniques were just fear. He just wanted to scare everybody.
Okay.
So he was perceived as terrifying. Everyone was freaking scared shitless. But despite his fearsome image, he wasn't even really, like, evil. Like, he wasn't bloodthirsty.
He didn't kill people?
He didn't like to. Like,
he would.
He would if he had to.
Okay.
But from everything I've read, he didn't like to kill just because.
So he just liked the power.
I guess so. So. He just wanted to show that he was in charge. And now if they crossed him, I'm sure they did something terrible. Right. But it sounds like he was against any unnecessary killing. Now, if he was provoked or somebody came at him, he would obviously kill. But he usually just liked to scare them pretty much. But he preferred intimidation to violence. So, yeah, he wanted to be big and powerful.
That's probably why he put the smoke in his beard, because no one's going to fuck with someone with smoke.
You're not going to come near me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't think he really liked the confrontation so much. It's just like, stay away from me.
So he was like a scaredy cat.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Many times he would capture ships without even firing a single shot. He would just
pull up and they'd jump off and swim to shore.
Yeah, well, crews would surrender, like, immediately. When they'd see him, they'd just surrender. Okay. So he wouldn't even have to fire.
Okay.
So, yeah. And he was known to throw these huge wild parties. Like, he was the king of parties,
like
evidently.
On the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
His ship was known to have pirate havens, quote. His ship was famous for drinking binges. Like, they would mix rum with gunpowder and they would light it on fire before drinking it. Yeah. And he was said to do this to show his toughness. So he'd be drinking his fiery drink along with his smoking beard. And he was known for lavish...
I'm curious. If he's got fuses in his beard and he's drinking
how did
fire,
he not blow
maybe he should,
up?
be careful.
Right.
Like, I feel like...
And that wasn't even how he died, surprisingly.
Okay.
But he was known for those lavish, chaotic parties, banquets. He would have people to eat. He would do gambling, duels. People would just fire pistols below for entertainment. They weren't, like, trying to kill people, but I'm sure the duels became deadly at times. But he was also thought to dabble in, like, folk magic.
Oh.
So... A lot of sailors,
too.
Yeah, a lot of sailors believed he carried protective charms to shield him from his bullets.
Okay, so if you've ever seen Once Upon a Time on Disney, Blackbeard is on Disney.
Okay.
And like he's like a magic dude. Like
he
does, like so that
he was known to be very magical and to have he would they think he wore charms made of like bones and feathers, different tokens, things like that, where that he would tie them into his beard to ward off death and protect him from bullets and things like that. And I know Disney has several representations of him. Like there's different movies, older movies mostly made about Blackbeard, but I don't know that I don't think I've seen them. They're old, but there are lots of things based on him. But you know, they're all going to be different, just like Pirates of the Caribbean is different than how he really was. 1718, this was the height of his career, okay? He blockaded the port of Charleston, South Carolina, and he held the entire harbor hostage. So his ship, Queen Anne's Revenge, held about 40 cannons and a crew of over 300 men, which this was enormous for a pirate ship. Back then, that was just unheard of to have something that
Usually
big.
Pirate ships were like under 20 people. Yeah. Like literally.
To have that big of a crew
so
and
all these men
40 cannons.
Joined his crew because they wanted to be... They wanted to take power. I would assume.
I'm sure they were like, oh, this big scary dude, he actually doesn't want to hurt us. And he has really good fucking parties, so let's do it.
We drink gunpowder fireballs.
Honestly, he sounds like a good time. I'm not going to lie. He sounds like my kind of dude.
I'm not going to say I would never join this crew, but...
I mean, I'm not like big on drinking and partying, but like if I were back then...
I'm not big on going on a boat in the middle of the ocean. But you know what? If
I had to, I would probably choose him.
I feel so too, yeah. Wait, let's see how he died. Like, let's see what happens before I decide.
So, I'll get to that in a minute because
just keep going.
First, I wanted to mention, okay, we're in the height of his career, right? I said he started, 1716 was his turning point, okay?
Yeah.
1718 was his height, right. So I'm thinking, that's like 2 years. That's just 2 years. Because that year.
You also have to think back then, I think this is when like pirates started.
Yeah, true.
So it's not like I'm not saying there wasn't a few before him that did not succeed.
So I guess a 2-year career could be a big thing.
Exactly. And like a lot of pirates probably also fucking died.
Yeah, true.
Because
I was going to say that. Okay, so he would have been 37. That's our age. He would have been 37.
Oh.
37 years old in the height of his career. Like, but back then that probably was pretty old for a pirate.
Especially a pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during this big blockade, this big hostage situation, his men demanded and received a chest of medicine as ransom.
Oh.
I guess this showed that the pirates weren't always after gold, but that they also wanted survival necessities. So pirates aren't just about the treasures. They
still steal everything you have, and we'll blow your ship up if you don't.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was all over, was a chest of medicine. Okay. But shortly after, his ship ran aground near Beaufort Inlet in North Carolina and was abandoned. So this is like, he was in what is now the United States, North Carolina. Like, that's not too far from here. I actually have a friend that lives right over there. Like, that's just weird to think that all of this happened.
Blackbeard was actually right there.
So some believe he intentionally grounded the ship to downsize his crew and to keep the best loot for himself. But he accepted a pardon from North Carolina's governor, Charles Eden. But he continued pirating in secret. And he was aided by corrupt officials. Of course, even back then, we had officials that were dirty.
Yeah.
So he was still doing his thing, whatever, kind of more private at this point. But his last battle was November 1718. November 1718. The governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, ordered Lieutenant Robert Maynard, I was thinking Maynard from Tool. Anyway, ordered him of the Royal Navy to hunt down Blackbeard. On November 22nd, 1718. Okay, so this is the governor. This is the governor of Virginia ordering Blackbeard to be killed. November 22nd, 1718. Maynard's forces confronted Blackbeard near Ocracoke Island, I believe. Ocracoke. Anyway, doesn't matter. An island near North Carolina. The battle was brutal. It was bloody. Blackbeard fought ferociously. Despite being heavily outnumbered, he gave it his fucking all.
Did he have a new ship?
I don't know. It didn't say what ship he was on at that time, but it had to be.
Yeah, because if he ran that one in the ground, then...
Yeah, at this point, he wouldn't have had that ship, and he had a very small crew. Yeah. It sounds like he was doing more like private behind-the-scenes kind of stuff, maybe. Okay, so they're at him. They're going crazy, right? They're attacking him. It's bloody. It's nasty. They say it took 5 gunshots and 20 sword cuts to finally bring him down.
To kill him?
Not necessarily kill him, just to bring him down. So 5 gunshots. He was a big dude. He was big.
Like,
and he had magic on his side, right? Okay. But the whispers and like the reputation grew that he was invulnerable to normal weapons. So that fed the myth that he had a pact with the devil. Okay. They believed that he was, in cahoots with evil, and that's why he was unable to be. Eventually, he was finally killed in that battle. Maynard had Blackbeard's head cut off and hung on the shipboat as a warning. Oh. So he hung his head on the ship. Like, I did it. I finally did it.
Nasty.
But it took all that to get him down. So it's said that after Maynard and his men threw Blackbeard's body overboard, that it swam around the ship 7 times before sinking. So another supernatural sign that he wasn't just a normal man. They believe, all accounts talk that 7 full rounds around the ship of his body with no head.
So it's like a chicken.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
and it has a big body. Like, it's a big body.
6'4", I'd say. That's a pretty long one.
Locals claim that during stormy nights, the water in the channel runs red, glows like blood, and there's a sign of his restless spirit. Folklore also says that his head cursed anyone who possessed it. I don't know who was possessing this head. I don't know if it was passed around or...
I mean,
his skull, I guess. That makes sense.
They essentially, like, cut the head off of, like, one of the most notorious pirates in the world. So I would assume we got this passed down.
Like, because I read that the skull was passed around and used, like, as a drinking cup and all kinds of stuff. So, like, it was passed around. Oh, yeah, because it made it to, legend says, it made it to the foundation of a Virginia college building.
Yeah.
And it was rumored to be the College of William and Mary's. Students whispered that his ghost still roamed the campus.
Right on.
So I guess the skull did make it around quite a bit.
Okay, so everything up until, like, this weird stuff that's happening was true?
Yeah. He was a real dude with a real terrifying presence.
Jesus.
And,
okay. Yeah.
But not necessarily evil. Just
he has magic
did
on his
what he
side,
had to
like
do.
Yeah. So
his career was shockingly short. 2 years as an active pirate, but his legend.
I feel like that's a long time for a pirate.
Probably is.
He's probably one of the most
because think of how many most pirates
don't survive.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had that many surrenders.
Exactly.
So it is quite a while. His legend lasted for centuries. So Queen Anne's Revenge, the ship that went down, was rediscovered in 1996 off the coast of North Carolina. And artifacts are still being recovered today. So they're still finding things from his original ship. That is cool.
That is really cool.
Stories about ghosts haunting that island persist to this day, with locals claiming to see strange lights or hear voices. Sailors and locals say that Blackbeard's spirit still wanders the water, and Teach's whole channel is haunted. Now, Teach's whole channel, maybe they named that after him because his last name is Teach, so that makes sense.
Probably, instead of calling it Blackbeard.
Yeah. Witnesses report seeing a headless body swimming or walking through the surf as if searching for his missing head. They see glowing lights or mysterious orbs spotted bobbing along the waves, said to be his ghostly lantern guiding him through the dark. After his death, sailors also claimed that he made a pact with the devil. I mentioned that earlier, but for like invincibility, like the devil works with me, keeps me safe. Some believed that when he was finally killed, the devil claimed his soul, binding it forever to the coastlines of the Outer Banks. And fishermen in the area, they would long refuse to whistle on their boats because they believed it was a way of calling up Blackbeard's ghost. If don't whistle.
Listen, if you tell me not to whistle, I'm going to get my little John boat out there. I'm going to roll right to the middle and be like, I want to know.
Show me Blackbeard. So there's still tons of stories that go along the Outer Banks. Local tells of hearing this eerie singing, humming, carried by the wind near the sites of battles. I don't know what that has to do with him, but I guess.
Well, like, he started a lot of battles. Because, like, if you won't give me your ship, I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it could be, remnants residual sounds from all his parties and whatnot too. But some say his crew still calls out for their lost captain. Others claim it's the pirate himself chanting curses into the storm. Yeah. Oh, and also, I thought this was interesting. It doesn't really have much to do with any of it, but they think that he had up to 14 different wives at one time.
I think I've heard that before. Like he had,
I guess
he was
in
a
different ports.
Yeah.
Like every port he had a wife.
I think that's how pirates were, though.
That makes sense.
I don't think it was just like that's a normal Blackbeard thing.
I guess maybe that's where the hose and every zip code.
I was a pirate at one time.
Right.
But no, like if you watch any pirate movie, like literally any one of them, like Pirates of the Caribbean, how many people does he sleep with?
Right.
And then, I mean, go into another pirate show. I can't think of any. Okay, on what? Loading.
Buffering.
Once Upon a Time, Captain Hook is on there, and he's like that.
Yeah.
And so is Blackbeard. He's like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like,
everywhere I go, I got a new woman.
Fuck who you can when you can, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because you were at sea so long.
To actually marry them? And I didn't read anything if he had children or not, so I don't know. If he did, he probably didn't know about them.
Exactly, because
he's like, oops, see you later.
Once and done, yeah.
Yeah. So he was famous for also boasting that he had buried treasure. He claimed, only the devil and I know where it is, and the longest liver shall take it. I don't know.
Oh my god, I bet people are still searching for that treasure. Right? No, I'm serious. Like, there are real fucking treasure hunters out there.
Well,
I love me a good treasure hunter. Like the movies or just like Discovery Channel learning about them. Oh my god. Yeah. Blackbeard's treasure. Shut up. I have to know if it's still like being looked for. You keep going.
According to lore, no one has ever truly found any confirmed hoard by Blackbeard. Many seekers claim the treasure is cursed, leading treasure hunters to madness, bad luck, or death. So evidently over the years, a lot of people have tried, but did not succeed because they either went crazy or they died. So
went crazy?
Yeah. Like the search to the cursed treasure was often led to madness, I guess. And some legends say if you dig where his gold is hidden, you'll be met by his ghostly crew rising from the sand to protect it.
Okay, so yes. Blackbeard's treasure. People are still searching for this fucking treasure. Dang. And it continues to fascinate historians.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people have actually gone mad.
I don't know about that. I could look. I could Google it if you want me to.
I could have kept finding more stuff about him, but I don't know.
They have several museums in North Carolina dedicated to Blackbeard.
Ooh.
With like stuff from the boat coming out. His money pot is in one of them.
Yeah, because they're still finding stuff. So
this one just has pirate-related items, but they call it Blackbeard's Museum.
Isn't it crazy how someone in a span of 2 years could make such a big wave in the...
Isn't it crazy how, like, I did not think that's what Blackbeard was.
What did you think
I thought he was, like, this, like, immortal ship captain that just took... Like, I literally thought... I think watching the TV shows and the movies takes it from you. I just thought he, like... immortally traveled around on his ship and he took ships over for all eternity. Oh, like I didn't realize he was like a real person who died and then a legend was born. Like I never. Yeah. I don't know. That was my brain came
like
up with
more
it.
Lore than real.
Yeah. I didn't know he was like a real. Well, they're always a real human.
Yeah, there's always some kind of.
I didn't know all that. So very interesting. Yeah.
I like this one.
I did too. It was pretty good. Yeah. Hope you guys did too.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to get a hold of us for any reason, we can talk about Blackbeard or the Flying Dutchman, or you can tell us we were wrong. I don't care.
Or if you have any other cool, creepy sea stories you want us to cover.
Or just cool, creepy stories.
In general. Anything, really,
At onlyifyoucankeepup@gmail.com. Okay.
Stay creepy.
I wanted to say something pirate-like, but I literally brain farted.
Ahoy, mateys.
Ahoy, mateys. That means hello, though.
Oh, I guess goodbye, mateys.
Bye.